Invasion. Watch for democracies, hypocrisy, philosophies, fear and shock factories, pseudo-pop mockeries and poppy fields, blocking swinging chops without Moroccan shields, industry demonic, thoroughverse and spokes and stopping wheels, coffin fields empty, buried in the battlefields, working on the streets is walking in some cattle fields, King Alfred Gruesome, lover mental snoozing, sleepwalking and talking, cell phones are soothing, minds disappearing, genetic memory erasing, don't even have a job but they get you for tax evasion, hot like a frying pan, crying fam, lying men, use gadgets, spying men, no loyalty, just buying friends, no credit, debt slaves, walking over paved graves, enslaved, enraged, marriage to death, prearranged, Mike Sufi Genie, bomb tracks bikini, stupid niggas call my fez bucket hat when they see me, but won't ask a thing or drink the water that I bring, but when the Pope comes, they kissing on his ring, they rather drink a rapper's flow from the black fountain, Pied Piper got the dead lined up in the thousands, confusion with illusions, infusion with sorcery, won't give up my birthright no matter what they offer me, no deal, push the red button, I'm going home, close my eyes, meet Yasanel in Vendome, the fire that we put on Rome, make their walls shake, Islamism grand chic, not spelled like shake, open minds, not sky, don't when you enter my zone, I wouldn't call it murder when I snap the neck of my clone, trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter, Peter's face the Tartar, no making me a martyr, third eye and larger, aura is my armor, when I plant a seed in man's soil, rhyme farmer, use the alma rap sorta like an almanac, keep listening, sleepless hip-hop insomniac, Moorish MC, call me that acquiesce, don't call back, just fall back, any rapper after 95, all whack, their flow just trickles like drops on icicles, rappers need training wheels on their rhymesicles, keep people's mind pickled in a lost realm, when it comes to Moorish MCs, I'm at the helm. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter, Peter's face the Tartar, you know making me a martyr, third eye and larger, aura is my armor, aura is my armor, aura is my armor. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter, Peter's face the Tartar, you know making me a martyr, third eye and larger, aura is my armor, aura is my armor, aura is my armor, aura is my armor. Invasion.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me upright, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, deja vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane interests, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, facts slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali Craig, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, VAR feminists, stomped on by elephants, won't like go prejudice but want Moorish benefits, when you feel the pole magnetic resonance, apis horns of the sacred book called Maleficent, great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again, use energy right, not put spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no they live shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades, it's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Bet they won't. Bet they won't. They're gonna talk shit about you can't come to North America and all that stuff, a keyboard and all that. But they'll never say anything to this colonists murdering our people. They're always gonna find a problem with Cujo. But they're not gonna say jack to the colonists. When it comes to colonists, matter of fact, they shut the hell up when it comes to the colonists. When highwaymen come around, they're not pulling out nationality cards and all that. They're following instructions from the white man, from the Albion hybrid. They're following what they say. All right, this is not Canaanland Moors thing now. This is Cujo's one. Keep that in mind too. And of course, we sent the invite to all the trolls, all the BS shit talkers, and they're probably not even in here. Why? How come? If they got something to debate so bad, they can see me post stuff all day, but as soon as they see the live, they don't see that. They have no comments on the live. Oh, but they have comments on the post where they can't deal with me one-on-one because they already know what's up. All these people know what's up. Don't make them think that they don't know who Canaanland Moors is and who Cujo is, because there was no temple out here before us. There was nothing called Moorish anything out here before us. Nothing. There was absolutely nothing out here Moorish. Zero. So know that Canaanland Moors is the foundation of Moors across the border from so-called United States into so-called Canada. We're the foundation out here. Anybody out here who's claiming that they're a Moor and they never came through us, they're a traitor and a sellout. Because everybody should be given honors to Canaanland Moors as far as Canada is concerned. Now, there ain't nobody else to be given honors to as out here with regard to Moorish anything. Zero. Nothing Moorish was out here. Only thing that was out here was Negro, black, colored, African BS. That's all. All the regular stuff. All the stuff that we know we've been doing that since the 90s. I came up in the 90s. in a music recording studio that had a library in it. That's where we come from. We come from 90s, going to the studio and engineer forcing us to read Dr. Ben books, John Henrik Clark books, John Jackson books, you name them, whoever. Whole library at the studio. But we were dumb niggers. We ain't taking that stuff serious. What is all this black stuff? We don't want to know about this black stuff. We're whatever block that we're repping. We're whatever crew that we are. Came through all that. Came through all of that. To the point of even making sure that when you go to the studio, you have socks on. Right? Only bare feet at home. Everywhere else socks. Because you don't know what people do in their house and stuff like that. Right? So we come from studio having a library in it. You find me a studio today with a library in it. Find me one. You find me a studio with an Afrocentric library, Moorish library, black library, whatever in it right now. Bet you don't find one. Right? And that was 93. We're not talking about today. That was 93. We were on it like that. And then we move through the sun. We get out of the hood, whatever BS, into the black power, and we think we know who we are and all that stuff. And then we dally there for a little bit. And in the whole black conscious whatever realm, the people who I was around, they were on it hard. 24 hours a day, there's a VHS cassette of some type of conscious whatever in the thing, and that's playing, blasting through the whole house. Because we're also DJs, so we could, set up the stuff and have a speaker upstairs and all that stuff. So wherever people are at, they can hear this. Right? Yeah, house studios count. House studios count. If it's a house studio, because studio we were going to, it was a basement. It wasn't going to Koch or somebody. It was a basement studio. So yeah, house studios count. For sure those count. They'll have a library in it. Bet you some of them, most of them won't though. Even at the house studio, which lets you know how crazy it is. So we came through the ranks. Got through all that stuff, black and all that. Get into metaphysical and occult, voodoo, Santeria, ayahuasca, mushrooms, DMT, peyote. And this is probably about 2004. 2005, 2006. A group of brothers out here brought Umar Shabazz Bey here of the Washita, who wrote the We Are the Washita book. They brought him out here. And they were coming out here to establish the Moorish whatever out here, and nothing happened. Zero. So we already know they weren't ordained to be the ones pushing this information out here. So when we finally said, you know what, it's me and a few other people. Something's like this can't be it. It can't be this repetitive thing of getting to the line and then lose. Getting to the line, no touchdown. Getting to the line, no touchdown. Years. Getting to the line, can't cross the line. And then saw a picture of this man on MySpace with a hat on, like going in the air. Then he was dressed like, not like how a black guy dresses, but he looks like a black guy. How come he's not dressed like a black guy? How come he's not wearing dashiki and stuff like that? If that's where it's at. Like, why is he wearing a robe over a suit? How come? Well, he definitely had socks on because he had shoes on. Right? How come he's dressed like this? Who is this? How come nobody ever showed me a picture of this guy before? No pictures of this guy? Nobody said anything? Then research this thing and tell me about I'm not black and all this. Like, what are you talking about? You're not black. What do you mean? We're black. Like, we're African. What are you talking about? What do you mean we're not black? Because this is how we used to go fight skinheads and stuff for the black stuff out here. Like, there used to be face-to-face confrontation just because we're not playing the white supremacy, whatever. You're not playing that BS because we're the founders of everything. F you with your white supremacy as black guys, right? Yeah, with the knowledge base that we had. When we start hearing that we're not black, you need to prove this to me. Prove that to me. Prove it. Straight socks off. Beat their socks off. They'd never call us nigger again. You don't play that stuff with us. You play stuff with the little Negroes out here. They don't play that call us a nigger and throw eggs from the car and stuff like that. We're hunting you down all night until we find your car, and we're gonna find your car. We didn't know back then that was, thought power making us find their car wherever it was. You know what I mean? So this man came and said we're not black. Go to Chicago, see these people calling themselves Moors instead of black. They got their own plates. They're going to court getting shut down. They're passing highwaymen with their own plates. Hey, highwaymen waving at them, hi, how you doing and all that. And they're not treating them like a nigger when they look just like me and I just got pulled over 2 days ago. How come they're pulling me over, but they're just letting these people just have their own plates and they could go wherever they want, run red lights and all that. And nobody's honking, nothing. It's like world stops when the Moors are passing through. World stops. Everything just stops. Then the Moors pass through and then Matrix goes back to whatever it's doing. That's how it was in Chicago. When these people who call themselves Moors and telling us that we're not black and we're not African or whatever, and we're like black guys, and we're saying, okay, well, let's go check, we'll see what the hell this is about. And it end up being about that. It end up being about, I don't even know this guy from nobody. I don't know him from anybody. Never met him before, never had a conversation, nothing. And they're opening my car door. And then they're shaking my hand when I'm getting out the car door and going around shaking people's hands or whatever. And then I'm going to get my bags, and another guy the other guy was all right. This guy looked mean. He looked like I don't know, he had some type of position that guy over there who was doing the shake hands and stuff is different. The energy, the exchange was different. Come to find out, that was the head mufti. Head mufti, let me know, opened up the thing, let me know, just so you know that we, you're protected because you're a dignitary. Right? Goes to grab my bag. I'm like, nah, don't worry, I got it. And then he demanded to take my bag. Demanded, like, if I don't take your bag, I'm going to open my jacket again, so you know. Okay, well, fine, take the bag. Because I don't know what's going on, but this feels rather good. Like, this feels pretty good. This is really what it is. This is what Moorish is about. Like, I don't even know this guy from anybody. He's going to protect my life. And everybody has a fez on or a turban on. And it's like, this is something interesting. I never experienced anything like this before. This is next level know thyself. This is know thyself after you go through the door and then you thought, yeah, we made it to know thyself. And then it opened up into a universe and you're just standing on the edge. You're just standing on the threshold and there's nothing under you, nothing above you, nothing around you, just universe. And then you look behind you and everybody's just looking at you like, right? Another realm. So we go into this other realm and these guys go in the back and then you can go to rvbaypublications.com, Canaanland Moors tab, and they pull out the letter, the article. They put out an article talking about Noble Drew Ali is supposed to come to Toronto to set up the Moorish Science Temple and all that or whatever like that. Supposed to do it between these two individuals, and then Noble Drew Ali assassinated. And then people in the Moorish movement knew that. But they didn't do anything to try to establish anything out here. Until we said we want to have something here in honor of Noble Drew Ali's article. And then those Moors are looking at it like Noble Drew Ali's prophecy. That in the 1920s he talked about a temple being in Toronto, a Moorish Science Temple, when there wasn't one. And then 2008 there's one. That's not prophecy. And if you're thinking that's not prophecy, then obviously you're not in the 144,000. You're not in the handful that's supposed to be saved. You're with the Agent Smiths and everybody. Right? So saying all that to say, anybody talk crazy about Kudro L, about Canaanland Moors, about RV Bay Publications, anybody talking crazy, right? Know that they're a fraud. Anyone, I don't care, you know them for 10 years. If they're talking crazy about Kudro L, they're a fraud. Because we're Noble Drew Ali's prophecy manifesting. So we have clout. We'll need people's clout to be who we are. We already did our job. Temples established out here. Like, we did our job as far as the Moors and Noble Drew Ali and all that's concerned. Because guarantee you, you're going to come out here, you'll see Moors out here. Whether they're dirty, whether they're clean, whether they're semi-dirty, all of them came through us. Because no one was talking Moorish out here before us. So the guy who's telling you $5,000 for a package right now, 10 grand for a package out here, the guy who's telling you about authenticate birth certificate, the guy who's telling you about put a lien on something, the guy who's telling you about Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish, whatever, anybody talking Moorish, they came through us. Either they came in and left, because they were a traitor, or this was the first place that they took their scoop out of and they didn't like, what we were serving, so they went over there to go find some other Moorish whoever, or just stay with the black, Negro, African, whatever, because they're not going to say that they're Islamic. They're not going to say Allah. They don't want to be Muslims, so they're not Moors. All right, do your thing. But know, without a shadow of a doubt, that there was nothing called Moorish out here before Canaanland Moors were saying Moorish out here. So that's automatic street credibility. Like, it's automatic. Because we're 12 years in. Still here. More Moors are awake now than when we came into this with just 2 Moors or 3 Moors. Word's out now. People want to know about their nationality and birthrights now because of Canaanland Moors out here. Whether they get their nationality and birthrights, that's up to the individual seeking. So we're foundation. So we don't do this new Johnny come lately stuff. So we just want to put this out from Mother Rosmariah Bay. Right? This is her personal message to me that I wanted to share with the family. Because people have things twisted. Right? And this is not some secret stuff or whatever like that. This has been told, this has been put on the record. This is not some new stuff. Now we say the boat has left the dock. We're catching you up to speed that you're behind right now. That's why you're suffering, because you're behind. So everybody's going nuts about these people Moorish consulate, and then they got Moorish travel documents and all that stuff with the tassel on it, and you can get a red and a blue and a white, and people are losing their mind thinking that that's about birthrights. So this is the perspective you should have with regard to a Moorish American consulate. This is the perspective you should have. And if you don't have this perspective, then obviously you're a fetus. And you shouldn't even be trying to run. You're a fetus. Go sit down somewhere and go study. Because you don't know what you're talking about. And you're causing confusion out here. You're challenging every weak mind with your BS. That the weak mind doesn't need BS. The weak mind needs the facts and the truth, and that's it. They don't need the confusion. Point is, consulate and consulate generals are not Moorish titles, and they were established for newly freed modern Europeans. So, if my brethren says he or she is a consulate over me or for me, they are calling me a Slavic. And a national domicile is not divided. So they just gave empty titles to what equates to a notary seal to these clowns. Always starting something new when the answer is already there. Always starting something new when the answer is already there. So they're telling themselves, just like they jacked the paperwork, right, from Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, right, Moorish American Consulate, jacked the paperwork from Great Seal, changed the header, because all you got to do is download it, and then you could edit it however you want. You're not supposed to edit it. because that writ was produced in order for there to be a standard for Moors. So now we've been doing this paperwork for the past 10, 15, 20 years. These people now are going to come in 2018, take the paperwork off the people who've been doing it for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, change the heading on it, and then push it as it's theirs. And then you're running to them to go do your paperwork, when they just killed the whole energy for themselves. So anything they do moving forward is going to be a fraud. You can't say McDowell's, but then everything inside the wrapper and all the sign and all that stuff says McDonald's on it. You can't do that. Doesn't matter what they're going to do if you do that. The point is, you can't do that. The same way, you can't take some paperwork from somebody who's been doing it for the past 20 years, change it up, and then put it out as if that's credible paperwork. That's not credible paperwork. You just altered documents. That's fraud. And you're altering stuff that's not even yours. That belongs to the nation. Who in the nation told you that you could alter that? Who in the nation told you? And the only way you have the jurisdiction or the power to alter that is if you're down with Noble Drew Ali and all that stuff, and Act 1 with the Grand Sheik and all that stuff, and the power to make laws and enforce laws. So that's the only instance where it would be altered. When someone of authority, lawful authority, because the individual lawful authority is not going to be changing it for malicious intent. They might be changing it because one word needs to be changed with regard to whatever jurisdiction that they're in. But they're not changing the energy of it, because it's words, so it's spelling, so it's a spell, so it's a hex. And then people have been running this hex for 20 years, and some other people came and stole their stuff, and then they're pushing it as theirs. The same way they jacked the stuff from Great Seal, the same way now they're jacking Rise of the Moors. They're the real Rise of the Moors. They are. The people who just stole the stuff from Great Seal and are talking BS about RV Bay publications. Now they're telling you they're the Rise of the Moors. Do you know how much of a fraud that is? That somebody's been saying Rise of the Moors for the past 5-6 years. And then they didn't come out 5-6 years ago. They came out yesterday and start saying that they're the real one of what's been there for the past 5-6 years. And then you're going with it, liking stuff. 118 idiots liking these frauds, selling passports disguised as travel documents. Selling passports disguised as travel documents. Why would they have to say that they're real? If they're real. Like, why would, if you're the real one, why are you saying I'm the real Rise of the Moors? Because the people who call themselves Rise of the Moors, they're not Rise of the Moors, we're the real ones. When re-established? Yesterday. When was Rise of the Moors established? 6 years ago. Are you even a Grand Sheik of Rise of the Moors? We're the real Rise of the Moors. I didn't think I seen Nine Feathers Bay on Rise of the Moors website. Pretty sure I didn't see him over there. I'm pretty sure those passports that they're selling don't say Rise of the Moors on it, or don't even mention anything about Rise of the Moors. So then why are they going here? Why are they doing this? Like, why are they doing this? Because they're a fraud. That's why. That's all. And we know that they're a fraud. We're trying to help you. But you think that we're just mad at people. You think we have attitude problems and whatever, when there's traitors out here. Like, there are traitors out here that look just like us, that don't want us to move on from anywhere that we're at. They want us stagnant. This is an operation that they have out there, so you don't know that you're Moors. Why would these people steal some other people's name, steal some other people's paperwork? Why don't they just link up with them? Wouldn't that be the logical thing to do? Just link up with them? Why don't we Canaanland Moors, and then we're the Canaanland Moors, and make our own website or whatever, when we could just go on RV Bay's website, because we buy all their books and stuff like that. We might as well have some affiliation with them. We might as well have some affiliation with Rise of the Moors, because we know them. Might as well have an affiliation with some Moors over there. Why would we not want to build with Moors? And then why are people trying to make it seem like we're against Moors when we know Moors all over the world? So there's something going on. There's an operation going on to try to keep the people separated and bickering and all that stuff. And then you're looking at it as bickering, when no, we're pointing out the traitors. It's not bickering. There's a lot more.
Peace.
What's good?
I just wanted to comment on the stolen identity thing, right?
Please do, because I know
crazy.
I couldn't really talk on it, you know what I mean? Because I'm not really, you know.
It's crazy. So Rise of the Moors was founded by myself and my cousin Janaea. We started off, well, I started off, it was originally by myself. I wrote my first book, ordered 100 copies, and I didn't do one video. No one knew who I was. I was like, you know what? The prophet said in order to change people, you have to change your literature. So I was doing what I thought I needed to do to help our people.
Logically, right?
Yeah.
Once you get to know Drew Ali, logically, you're going to do what you can to help your people.
Yeah. And
why would you do anything else?
I think before that, before I wrote my first book, I think, actually, hold on, let me see, because I just put the date down. Okay, so 9 days before I published my first book, so it was already written at the time, that's when I got my first case dismissed helping a sister in court. Because, you know, the prophet said, if your sister's in adversity, blah, 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 blah. I'm just doing my part for the nation, charged her $0.00. We spent like 8 hours in my basement working on the document. I just told her what to write. Actually, I explained to her why I was saying what I was saying, and I typed it up. And then
logically,
yeah,
because
she had an attorney. She paid like $2,000 already. The case was already going on for like 300, and I think it was like 500 days or some shit like that. Anyway, case got dismissed in 2 weeks. Just put out my first book of my own money. Spent like $1,800 on my first version of my book.
Oh, somebody asked what was the book called?
Oh, Are You Confused About Law? So then my plan was make the book, do YouTube videos about information that's in the book, and then from that, sell the book.
Yeah.
So I forgot what happened to my phone at the time, but I ended up using my sister's old iPhone, and I taped it to the back of my TV in my mom's basement. I had just got out the military, and I was living with my mom. So I taped my sister's old iPhone to the TV, and I started doing my video. So if you scroll down to old Rise of the Moors YouTube videos, you see me in a basement in a suit. I'll sweat my balls off, nervous, just talking about information that I thought I knew about Moor science,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Based on not just, you know, my book, but having the victory in court. So I'm like, okay, I have this victory in court. So obviously what I'm talking about, what I think I know works. And then I put it in a book. So if anyone wants to challenge what I think I know, I have this case that you would have to disprove and this piece of literature that you would have to disprove, right? Which the prophet said, if you want to change the people, change the literature. So I'm not just running my mouth. I have two things that can basically validate what I'm saying. The
Right.
case being dismissed and the fact that I spent crazy amount of time on this book,
Yeah.
which was my first book ever. Never written any, never even thought I would be writing a book in my life.
Straight up. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So my cousin
No
Janaea,
problem.
we were close when we were young. She ended up seeing the video I did, and I ended up talking to her about Moorish science because at the time I was already traveling with Moorish plates. I was already doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
One of my YouTube videos, the thumbnail is me at the post office with my 2013 blue Nissan Rogue, my first car ever out the military, with Moorish plates on it. And Dr. Naila took a picture of it because I traveled from here to Delaware, House of Reawakening Minds, which is 5 hours there, 5 hours back, did that by myself.
Yeah.
I was already traveling for like 6 months with Moorish plates, no problems.
Yeah.
But then when I went to the House of Ram and got crazy notoriety, then the ops was like, all right, we got to pull
Yeah.
this thing over.
That's how it goes.
Yeah,
That's how
which
it
I
goes.
didn't know, you know what I mean? I thought, okay, this is the right thing
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
I still kind of believed in Rome because I was fresh out the military. Like, nah, you know, these are good people. You know, so I didn't know it was like, I didn't know what I know now. And I know a lot now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought I knew a lot then, you know what I mean? But
Right,
the
right.
oppression is real. So anyway, my cousin, you know, ended up talking to my cousin Janaea about Moorish science at her brother's baby shower. And she was, you know, Janaea's pretty fucking intelligent, so she understands when what's real information, what's not. So she decided to basically help me do what I was doing, and then we formed Rise of the Moors. She wanted Return of the Moors, and I said, no, we're not coming back from something. We've already been here, so it should be Rise of the Moors.
Right.
And the idea was to sell T-shirts in my book, which we did, and then I stopped selling the T-shirts because the T-shirts have the Moorish flag on it, and it's not really customary to put a flag on shirts because when the shirt gets dirty, the flag gets dirty. There's disrespectful to the nation, blah, 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 blah. So I stopped doing the shirts. And then it's just been videos and videos and videos, and then once you shared one of my first videos, it went crazy within the Moorish science, the Moorish realm of Moors. And then after you shared it, it got, you know, Rise of the Moors just blew up, and then I remember my first interaction with you was on Facebook, and you called me a nigger, and I said, don't call me a nigger. If you believe I'm dirty, then call me a dirty Moor like the prophet, but I'm nobody's nigger. No one's ever going to call me a nigger. And then you said, I can tell you're not a fuckboy, and you basically gave me your number. I was in my mom's basement at the time still. We talked on the phone for like an hour or 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
And then I remember after going to library to library, the Europeans started like catching on and started telling us that, you know, all the space is booked and you can't be here no more because someone else booked the space, even though it's been empty for 10 years straight. No one's been going there on a Saturday for 10 years. But now all of a sudden there's a bunch of so-called black people showing up with crazy hats. Now all of a sudden the library's booked. And I remember I was sitting in my car, well, Janaea's car with Janaea, and we called you and said, Cujo, what do we do? Because all we're doing is teaching and they're giving us pushback. And you basically said, you know, sometimes going with an intelligent tone is not wearing your fez just so you can do what you got to do. And I was like, you know what, fuck that. I'm not taking my fez off. We just went to a different library. Then, you know, long story short, you know, so those are the two founders of Rise of the Moors, myself and Janaea, and with Cujo's help. And then, long story short, I was part of the consulate, and then at the time, Nine Feathers and Jalil Hugh L contacted me, I think on Instagram. They told me to get WhatsApp so I can communicate with them, and the Moors in China were basically asking me to create a letter for them to send to the Chinese government so they can translate it and send it to the Chinese government to let them know about their status there as Moors. So I did, and then they translated it into Chinese. And they were also complaining about how, you know, we reached out to other Moors and they don't take us serious and blah, 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 blah. And we reached out to Cujo and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I can't speak for nobody, but I can understand how having Moors in China could potentially be a great thing for us.
Most definitely, yeah.
So I wrote them the letter, And then after I wrote them the letter, that's when Jalil, Hugh L, and Nine Feathers got into this weird beef thing. And I was like, all right, let me just step back. And then from then I stepped back, and now we're here. You know, and that was like, what, 2019, something like that? Maybe 2018, 2019, when I was part of the consulate. And like, I got the emails to prove it, but, you know what I mean? It ain't that important. It's just, like, why would you say you're the real Rise of the Moors if you haven't done nothing? Like, nowhere near.
Well, make some passports.
Yeah.
Make some passports. That's it.
Not even passports, because they don't work. Show me one more who has traveled from one so-called country to another, from one port to another, where they got a stamp from the person at the port that says, okay, you're good to come into China, you're good to come into Germany, you're good to come into France, you're good to come into Nigeria, you're good to come in Egypt, you're good to come in wherever.
Yeah, they never show the inside. They always show the cover.
Yeah, never show the stamps. Never.
They never show the inside.
So the only affiliation that he has with Rise of the Moors was him begging me to write that letter, and then him begging me to get in contact with Chalet Moore in the consulate, and then him begging me to get in contact with you, and that was it.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I deleted the WhatsApp because it was just too many people contacting me, and then, you know what I mean? But I got no reason to lie. It's not like I benefit from saying that. You know what I mean? Actually, oh, damn, I just turned my computer off. I'll try to find the letter. I'll try to find the letter that I emailed to them so y'all can see, like, these Moors are playing games. They really just want to be somebody instead of putting in the work. You know what I mean? Like, my intentions of this movement was never to be somebody. It was to put in the work. And then out of that, you basically be somebody, right? But they want to skip all of that and just be somebody. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have to put in work. You have to actually help the people. It says it in the religious books, the greatest amongst you will be your servant. So if you're serving the people, then the people are going to think you're great. But you actually have to help them. You have to be patient with them. You have to care about them. You have to go to court with them. You have to, you know, stand in defense of them. You have to be involved in their lives. You can't just be on social media.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a African lady. She knocks on my door randomly because she needs help with DCYF because they stole her children. She would come to my house in the middle of the night, in the morning, like, and I open up the door, we talk, and I give her law stuff, and then, you know what I mean? Like, that's real. That's real.
That's real life. Real life.
Yeah, you know, because if you put your name in lowercase, then that lowers the chance of the colonial occupation. Get the fuck out of here. You're just making shit up. Show me proof. Show proof of anything you said working. If you knew all this information, why'd you need Jamal to write you a letter so that way you can translate it in English? I mean, from English to Chinese, so you can send it to the Chinese people. Why didn't you do that?
And then why aren't you telling the people that it's not really 160 for the thing because you were gonna charge Cujo 70?
Yeah. And why haven't you come back home with this document?
If you could move like that, if it works like that,
come home.
Like, you know what I mean? Why aren't you using it to come here? I'm not worried about other people using it. They could use it and get through. I don't care. How come he's not using it?
Remember when the Kirby, with the vacuum salesman, used to come to your door, knock on your door, and try to sell you that $1,000 vacuum?
Yep.
They would at least vacuum a part of your rug. They would at least show you this is how good this vacuum is.
Yeah.
He just got pictures, and that's it.
Yep. And then I could also to back that up, I used to work for Cutco. Selling the knives or whatever. Yep. Actually, those knives are 100-year knives because we still have those knives too. They're sharp and shit. It actually works.
And the sad part, right, is that there's Moors, like there's Moors that use this document, and they'll go on a train or they'll go on whatever, and then they'll post pictures of that. Like, okay, anyone can go on a train. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people go on trains all the time without ID, and then the train people will be like, all right, just don't let it happen again. You know what I mean? I personally been on the plane, 2 planes. I had to fight to get there, but with just my nationality card, with no travel document. Abdullah told me himself he's been on a plane like 22 times with his nationality card, and then the 23rd time they denied him. You know what I mean? Tashriq been said on video way before I existed, way before fucking these Moors in China existed, that he's been traveling with his nationality card. You know what I mean? We've been showed Moors, we get into federal court with our nationality cards. It's not like the nationality card doesn't work. It's if more Moors were enforcing it, we wouldn't even need the so-called travel document. But see,
Exactly.
Moors want to be somebody. They want
Yeah.
to make it seem like they're inventing this new thing, or they made this new
Recreate
thing,
the
or
wheel.
they
Yeah.
found this new piece of information, or they found this new code, or this new whatever, or the new UCC and the new case law and the new travel document, and the new this. They just want to be somebody.
Yeah. Try and make a name.
Which honestly, for the Moors that are somebody, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, I've only been doing this for a little bit. You've been doing this for way longer than me, so I already know phone calls out the wazoo from different
Yo.
people all over the world asking for help. You know what I mean? Like, that's what being a real Moor is about, helping people. You know what I mean? I barely try to sell my own books. I just post when it's in stock because people keep asking me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these people keep trying
That's
to sell me
part
some
why
shit.
we just same thing. That's part why we did the site. I just did it through Amazon, so
Yeah.
you can get it anytime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
But
you get it anytime.
these people, they don't
Because-
understand. They don't understand that. They don't
Yeah.
understand what being noble is. You know what I mean? You can't declare yourself noble. The people have to first you have to do noble things, and then the people have to recognize that, and then the people call you that. They just want noble. They just think, okay, I put a fez on and I say I'm a Moor, I'm noble now. Like, nah, bro. Help people out of the kindness of your own heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then maybe you'll be considered noble.
Humanitarian. Maybe. That's
Yeah.
real. We joke about it all the time, yo, that when we get up there and then we get to carry Drew Ali's shovel or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're happy.
Or
We're
maybe
happy.
you
We
wipe
get to
a
carry
piece
the
of dirt
shovel.
off his shoe or something.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get to lick the shoe. Like, yes.
You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a joke, man. Like, this is
Yeah, it's
real
real.
life. This is life.
It's real.
You know what I mean?
It's real. And it's evident, you know, which is why we keep stressing this point, that it's evident that there's people who are against that. You know what I mean? Their job is to keep this thing confusing,
Yeah, but
so you don't
Taj
figure it out.
been saying
You
that.
know what I mean?
Taj been saying that these people are jealous because of the fame and nobility, which is what the prophet said. These people are mad because based on the actions of active Moors, they get exposed for their inactivity, but they want to be somebody, so they can't be exposed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they get mad that
Yeah.
active Moors are so active because we're raising the bar so high that they can't even fathom reaching the bar. You know what I mean? When it's like, it ain't hard. If you don't know something, study.
Not even
Once you know the thing,
simple as that.
apply it, and then you'll be able to reach the bar.
Simple as that.
You know what I mean? Like, I made it my goal. You know, I used to think first, I want to be like Taj. I want to be like Taj. I want to be like Taj. And then I remember, you know, it's I, self-law master, be yourself. Okay, I can't be like Taj. I have to be me. So let me try to be more proficient than he is. Let me try to be more knowledgeable than he is. And I'll never, ever, ever, never, not once ever disrespect Taj ever, because I learned 90% of my information from him. And I'm always going to say that. So, and it would be fucking gay as fuck for a 29-year-old to send shots at a 73-year-old or whatever. Like, that's stupid, right? That's dumb. So, you know, I understand that. These people don't understand that shit. I understand that I had to put in the similar amount of work that he did to, one, understand the information, learn the information, fully grasp the information, and then I have to put out literature like he did if I see him as a person of inspiration. You understand what I'm saying? These people don't understand none of that. They just say, oh, so-and-so has X amount of views, or people like so-and-so. Okay, I want that. And then they just base their whole form of living off of that.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't fucking understand that shit. I don't. Never have, never will. Don't want to. It's just sad. But that's like me saying, you know, I'm the real House of Reawakening Minds. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean? You're the real one.
And like
That's
you said, when
crazy.
you're the real one, you don't have to say it. You just, this is what it is.
It is what it is. You know?
And you're absolutely right, man. Like, when you expose it, like, I already know you're a vanguard. I already know you're a Moorish vanguard. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I disagree with some of the shit you say, or it doesn't matter. You're a Moorish vanguard, and I understand that, right? So I understand that there's certain things that you have to do to expose certain people, whether I understand it or not. Because, you know, there's certain things that you've done that I didn't understand, And then as I developed into being who I am and dealing with the Moors, I started to understand more of the things of why you do what you do, why Taj does what he does, and why certain people do what they do, because of the level of quote unquote status that I've reached as myself and helping X amount of people and having to deal with a lot of people. So those people
Right.
that don't have that perspective think, oh, well, you're doing X, Y, and Z wrong. Meanwhile, they haven't even done A, B, and C. You're already at X, Y, and Z, and they're saying you're doing that wrong, and they haven't even done A yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just sad that Moors don't understand, like, when a vanguard is a vanguard and they're at the front door while you're inside, they're protecting you. So there's going to be shit that they have to do that you either can't
You're
do or
definitely
don't
not doing
understand
it.
why they
Yeah.
have to do it.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that they have to fucking do it.
That it has to be done.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, like, why are you building the wall that way? Because there's a flood that's going to come in, so I have to put this wall up. Well, you know, I didn't know it was going to be a flood coming. It doesn't matter if you don't know. I'm doing this job to protect you.
I'm the wall builder.
Yeah, so stop fucking asking.
Yeah.
I mean, when you build the wall, you want to drown or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, not all the Moors, but a lot of Moors are at that level where, you know, they really think that, because of course they're blinded and they're delusional. They're not dealing with reality.
Yeah, they made it.
They
made it.
No, they think that all the Moors are going to just come together and we're going to hold hands and skip down the fucking streets and we're going to just love oppression away. Like, bro, every human being on this planet is different. Not every single person has the same ideals or principles or morality.
Yeah,
like that's just
morals or whatever,
what it is. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be people, just like the prophet said, those who were with me 2,000 years ago or with me today, those who are against me 2,000 years ago are against me today. If we're reincarnated spirits and the same dirty Moors that were dirty then, and even before the prophet, are here now. They just want the nobility. They just want the fame. They want to be the guy. They want to create a problem that doesn't exist and give you the solution so that way they can seem like they're, this hominis dominus Moor knows more than Rise of the Moors, because they said, you know, lowercase letters mean the lowest level of status, and the Rise of the Moors never said that. How come they never said that? Oh, they've been lying to me. Meanwhile, we got proof of cases dismissed. We got way more literature produced than them. You know what I mean? It's like you're throwing away the foundation that the prophet laid down when he told you they're going to try to cause confusion, and the foundation has been laid, which is the minds of the people. So you want to throw away that foundation to believe that, this person has this one new thing. And then when you watch them, just like the consulate, when I was part of it, they're always going to create this one new thing. They're not going to follow up on any of the things that they talked about doing before. There's never follow through and proof of claim and evidence of it working. It's always just something new. Something new all the time, which is the devil. When you read the mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East, the devil is a myth. The word my, which is really mu, which means water, it's Egyptian. Water moves, water changes. So the myth is always going to change to keep you allured. Like, oh wow, they're always doing something new. Meanwhile, they ain't doing nothing. They're sitting in their room thinking, and then that's it. And you believe their thoughts as if it's action.
Or they're getting rich off your ignorance.
Which is the same thing. Because you're believing in, you know, like, I got the new CMOS instead of 92 fucking goddamn. It has 109 because, you know, 109 and 1 and 0 and 9 is the complete number of fucking completion. And then the CMOS just opens up your pineal gland and decalcifies it in 1 day instead of 2 days. And then we got the gold water because you could put a little bit of gold in the water. And then what you really got to do, like, come on. Why do they always have something new? It even says in the Quran, if I'm not mistaken, that the fool is always doing something new. You're never building or solidifying or accomplishing what you started. It's just new. Like, what happened to completion? And our people are just we're so blinded by the quote unquote light. It's just really bright. Like, wow. I never seen so brightness and warmth in my life. And then you don't even realize that while you're so blinded, someone's in your room stealing your shit. You're just looking at a light, like, wow. And then you open up your eyes and all your shit's gone. And instead of realizing, oh shit, all your shit's gone, you just want to be blinded by the comfort of the light again. So you just look at the light. You don't want to face the reality. You just want to face the reality. You just want to stay, you know, mentally stimulated by this bright light.
Yeah.
Come on, what are we doing? Like, look outside. Realize that after all this Moorish travel document that this person's selling, nothing has changed. There's no case law that you can use. There's no
Islam.
reference point. Peace. There's no reference point that you can use to say, okay, on this date, leaving from China, going to Japan, 17 Moors, 5 Moors, 2 Moors, 3 Moors, 1 Moor has a stamped travel document proving that this piece of information works.
Right.
Or this document. There's no proof of that. And Moors are just eating it up. Fucking,
Yep.
oh, this. Like, bro, what are you doing? Meanwhile, we got case laws, transcripts, documents that you can use in your defense to defend yourself, your mother, your father, your sister, your fellow Moors to help change your life.
Whoever. Yeah.
And we got books to help change your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you and if you want to prove it wrong, do a book report on how it's wrong. Don't just go on Instagram and say, "Oh, you're misleading Moors." And I have 5 books. How many of you
Tell them
read?
again.
Prove all 5 of them wrong, and then maybe I'll
That's
listen to
all.
what you have to say to me, and
Simple
I'll
as
yield with
that.
that.
Islam Mother Energy.
Islam, Grand Sheikh Cujo, Ottawa L.
What's
And
good with you?
Peace.
Islam.
y'all heard him, right?
I never heard him. Go
Y'all didn't
ahead,
hear
yo.
him?
Louder.
Islam.
Peace.
Islam, bro. What's good?
I'm good.
Good, good.
All right,
Staying
well,
out of trouble, right?
hey, you know what it is. We Muslims around here. We
Listening to
Muslims
mom
around
every
here
week.
all day, every day. Ain't no ifs, no ands, no buts about it. We Muslims around here. So ain't no trouble. I appreciate
Yeah.
the work y'all do. Seriously, I appreciate you sons. Real talk. Jamal, we never met each other in the physical, but I'm very familiar with your, you know what I'm saying, your due diligence.
I appreciate that.
I'll say that. And Cujo, I know you always hold it down. You know, you doing your work like you always have. Remember, when I met you, it was on my daughter was kidnapped
Yeah.
by her fault, by her biological. But from that point forward, I have never been off my square. And I enjoy being myself. And like you said, Jamal, you're just here you're here being yourself. And a lot of times you find yourself being the only one, but your prophet already gave you heads up with that. If you got to be the only one, be the only one.
Good. Be the only one.
You know, I like the fact that the flag is staked in the ground where I'm at, you know, flying nice and high and just, you know. I appreciate being able to be myself like that. Ooh
You
wee,
have to. Yeah.
you know, and it makes a lot of folks uncomfortable on our side of the nation as well. You know, they come at you, but it's okay. I understand why you operating from lower self. It's okay. It happens. You know, or the lack of knowledge of self. Either way, you're
Either
not going to
way.
shit
I
in
wish I was more
my
accepting like
cornflakes.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you want to fight?
Congrats on the daughter. Congrats
Thank
on
you.
the daughter.
Thank you.
Indeed, indeed. I would love to see mommy so I can say happy birthday to her. But anyway, but no, I just like, oh, y'all ain't gonna let me in on the bill. But see, I don't know these platforms, this social media stuff. I'm not big on it because I myself was setting up to get ready to do a live and doing some luxury and just open up the door for anyone that would like to speak with me because I don't generally be on here. But yeah, I mean, I like to share my experience in this walk on, you know, this here paradigm, you know, my part in the Moorish Divine and National Movement. And hey, it's gravy around here, and you really don't hear a lot of mothers speak on it, not to the level of cognizant that I can. And I'm gonna say it like that. You got to own up to who you are.
Yeah.
And
Great.
it's amazing out here. But I appreciate the interaction that I have accumulated in my journey so far. I really am grateful. We have some active Moors. Cujo, I know you're familiar with Brother Seven. I don't know what he was going by at that time, but yeah, you know, he's very active. I know he do a lot of posting on this platform, and we have another couple of sisters that we have built our tribe, our nation, our, you know, our people, our group, whatever you wish to call it. We just being active. We circulate our funds amongst ourselves before go anywhere else because we all contribute. One sister, she's a beautician and a barber and a loctician as well as a massage therapist. You know me, I get down on whatever. I got the straight stitching what you need. And I'm doing like creative garments for children, women, men, home decor, original artwork and accessories, teaching knot type courses, holistic classes, you know, and I've always elucidated my babies in the home. So I don't deal with that other stuff out there. I deal with it on my terms. And that's what a lot of us be missing. Last year gave a lot of people an opportunity. Or I'll say last cycle, last year, because we are in our new year starting in March. Gave a lot of people an opportunity to really get their shit together. Spiritual health, intellectual truth, SHIT. I don't be vulgar unintentionally. I'm very intentional with my vulgarity. But anyway, you know, and I was just watching how the populace, just in my small radius that I you know go about in, just droned out. That whole mass thing, bruh, they just knew. I'll put it this way. I haven't made one mask. I have not made one mask. Everybody around me thought I was going to be on that shit. I was like, first of all, that's not what I'm here for. I don't profit off of people's fear. And I do not promote fear propaganda. But see, you got to realize these things in order for you not to get caught up. And I didn't. Seven's mother, I made one. She was in the sewing room with me. I just finished the garment. I had a piece of scrap fabric in front of me, and I knew that would just make the world for her. So I did that because I do things to bring you joy. That's what I know a part of my walk is. So that's where my currency come in at. That's how I get paid. Fuck that Federal Reserve note. That is what it is. You know, it's just a tool.
Somebody in the chat said, somebody in the chat said, say what shit means again.
I don't know if you still got the piece I made that we bartered for. I got your CD.
They were telling you to say what shit means again, the acronym.
Oh, spiritual health. Oh, that's already trademarked, y'all. Just so y'all know, too many people know that came from Mother Energy. Anywho, spiritual health, intellectual truth. Yes, SHIT. And there's a difference between bullshit and shit to me. I deal with shit. I don't mess with bullshit unless I'm in the garden. Just so you know. Muslim all day, yo.
All day. All day.
All day. So like I said, I'm going to be jumping on here in a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all continue with y'all bill. But Jamal, I hear what you're saying. That back and forth that they've been, you know, I heard you had some federal BS. I was like, I don't even understand why he going, because they closed down. They shut down. I wish people would stop trying to resuscitate these niggas. Real talk. Just let these niggas die. Die out. But anyway, I'm going to yield the floor with that.
Give thanks, Mother.
Peace.
So we already know. We already know what's up. But you had anything else with this? You had anything else with this? Real Rise of the Moors thing?
Even you saying that is funny.
Yo, when they said it, it was really
bad connection.
It was really.
I laughed immediately.
I don't know what the hell to call it. But
I mean, there's no new Rise of the Moors. It's the Rise of the Moors. It's nothing. You know what I mean? Part of the reason why I chose the name is because you can never talk. You can't say anything negative about it, because when you say the name itself, you're speaking positively. You're saying the Rise of the Moors. So it's a spell. So and you know, I already knew that, which is why I chose that name. So even when people try to destroy it, even if the FBI is writing it down on their papers, they're still casting that spell, Rise of the Moors. They're still saying it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it can't stop. Whether I'm alive or not, it cannot stop.
Yeah.
You know, and the prophet already said that. He said, you know, he got the European in one hand and the Asiatics in the other. You know what I mean? It's already over for them. It's just I take it, I make it my personal duty to expose them, which is why I go to court. And, I mean, they have never, word for word, ever rebutted anything I've ever said in court. They have never, ever said the treaty's not real. They have never, ever said I'm not Moorish American. They have never, ever said, a judge has never, ever said on record that I'm a sovereign citizen. The police have written that about me, but no judge has ever said that. And like I said, we've been in federal court, and even the Chief Justice of the United States District Court for the District of Massachusetts, Patty B. Saris, who was hearing the case with the enforcement of the federal treaty and us getting into federal court with our Moorish IDs, never said anything we said was fake. You know what I mean? So for someone to say that they're the new rise of the Moors, they're just trying to take all the work we put in and make it theirs.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The same way they take all the work that Taj put in and put his face on their website.
Yeah. And ask them to show you your library. I bet you they can't show you anything that looks like this. Bet you they can't. Bet you they can't. Because they don't put in work. They don't put in work. They're trying to steal other people's work. How many books have they written? They can't tell you. I mean, that's it.
Tell you.
Stop believing these. Just stop blindly believing these dummies.
That's what it comes down to. The people, like you're saying, putting in their work as far as studying, so that you don't have to be involved with this BS.
Yeah.
Like they're talking about Moorish American born record and life claim. Why would you need that? You're an adult.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need a born record and you're 40?
Why would you need to claim that you're alive if you're alive?
Like,
that's like,
what is going on?
Have you ever seen the show The Office?
Yeah.
Remember when Michael Scott said, "I declare bankruptcy"? Like, that's not how that works. You know what I mean? The only time you need to claim that you're alive is like when they're about to bury you and you're in the casket or whatever, and you're banging on like, "No, I'm still alive. No, I'm still alive."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Moors are trying to do all this new shit because they want to, like I said, they want to be the new whatever.
The guy. They want to be the man.
Yeah, and like just think, you know what I mean? Like, the Social Security Administration wasn't even created until 1935, so the Prophet definitely didn't teach that because he died in 1929, and there was no what's that shit called? Common birth certificate during the early 1900s. There was no like the way it is now, how every person born in the hospital gets one. It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. You have your stuff and you put it in. You put it in your holy book.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
you're not
like,
you're not getting no birth certificate. And then if there was no birth certificate and all that stuff around the Prophet's time, then you have to ask yourself, obviously then there wasn't any authenticating birth certificates either.
Yep.
And nothing like that was around. All that is new stuff.
There was no Social Security Administration. There was no Medicare, Medicaid, and all the so-called Social Security benefits that you get when you're 60 and then you die at 61. You know what I mean? So the Moors had to pass on their wealth to their children. That's why you hear
that's
stories
the only way
called Black Wall Street, and they owned everything because they just handed it down to their children. Yep. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But the Moors that tell you to get the birth certificate and get the EIN and get to this and get to that, they want your wealth to be held in European trust. They still want you to transfer your shit over to them. Because even if you get an EIN, you have to reapply for that every few years, which means it ain't yours. You know what I mean? So the new rise of the Moors ain't going to teach you that. and remember, the Prophet said go back to that ancient mindset of your foremothers and forefathers. So we're the old rise of the Moors, so you might want to listen to us.
Yeah.
Not these new
you probably want to listen to the old rise of the Moors, not the new one.
And remember, when the Prophet died, everyone and their grandma was saying, "I'm the new prophet. I'm the new prophet. I'm the new prophet."
Yep.
So you might not want to listen to those people. If they're claiming to be the new, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Even when people gave me the honor of comparing me to Taj and saying you're the new Taj, I said I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not
But
trying to be
yeah,
him. I'm me.
chill with that.
You know what I
Chill
mean?
with that.
I'm me. I'm paving my own way. So
Yeah,
I
chill with
appreciate
that.
the respect of comparing me to him, but don't say that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm Jamal. I have my own spirit, my own energy, my own everything. I'm
exactly,
not trying to take his
exactly.
stuff. You know what I mean? Leave his.
And just like him, you would say, "Don't follow me.
Yeah, for real. Don't.
Don't follow me. Don't be Jamal. Go be who you're supposed to be."
Yep. And yep. That's why you'll see me on camera. Hair's crazy because I'm gonna tell you
Where's
no
your
matter
fez at?
no matter what.
You're not a real grand sheik.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't got
you're
your
right.
fez on.
You're right, absolutely. And no one laid hands on me. I don't understand why men think other men need to touch other men for them to be somebody. That's weird.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Even no matter what, I'm me. Court, I'm spitting Moorish information at home, Moorish information to my daughter, Moorish information. It doesn't change just because of what I'm wearing. It doesn't change just because who I'm around. You know what I mean? It doesn't change because I'm on camera, or it doesn't change. I'm, like I said,
You are who
finding
you
out
are.
I was a Moor was one of the greatest things of my life, besides being born, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, my daughter.
Yeah.
But like finding out, like my daughter wouldn't be here if I didn't know who I was, because back when I was
Sure.
black, I had lost 2 children.
Yeah.
So obviously, Allah was probably like, hey, bro, it's not, you know what I mean? Don't have a child right now. Because, there's a lot of Moors that have children with, women, and then they find out that they're Moors, and then now they got baby mama drama because
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
mom wants to
Because
stay a black
yeah,
Christian, and then the father's like, nah, if you expect me to be a
we're
provider and
Moors.
protect you, I'm trying to give you this information to help,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come out like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, there's just a bunch of unnecessary drama. So, not to say I appreciate losing children, but I like to, I guess thinking about it that way makes it a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And hopefully that's
Right.
what was in store for me. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm happy
Well,
that
I mean,
I'm at the level
yeah.
of information that I have now, so I can teach my daughter the true Moorish
Right.
information, which is why I go so hard against people's, putting out the wrong information, because I don't want my daughter to know that.
But
Before
it
it
could
was
have
my
been
little
that.
sister. I didn't want my little sister to know the bullshit. Now I'm definitely not allowing my daughter to know that bullshit. You know what I mean?
That could have been it. That could have been it right there too. You know what I mean? Why you lost the first 2? Because you don't bring no niggers here.
Exactly.
We have enough of that.
For real.
We have enough of that. Those 2 were probably going to be terrorizers out here. Having your nigger mindset or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit, they would have been ruthless,
Yeah,
for
true.
real.
And
Yeah.
one was when I first got out the military, my mind was not where it should have been
For
at all.
real.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely would have brought in a demon.
Yeah,
Brought back a Iraqi demon over here.
So, I mean, don't listen to no new Rise of the Moors, man.
Bring back a jinn. Yeah.
That's like
No Rise of the Moors.
that's crazy, man. Anyone?
Yo.
That's crazy.
And what was crazy too is that it might not be anything, but 118 people liking it is what made me freaking say, okay, we have to talk about this, because you people still have it confused that Moorish Consular Court is doing something legit or proper or for the Moors or whatever. You still have it messed up.
That's
Because
weird.
I see them sitting there with Moorish travel documents stacked up to the ceiling. If they're selling all those at 160 a pop,
That's a lot of money.
and then they're only sending 200 notes to Taj or whatever, where they have his face up on stuff and all that,
Yo,
using his fame and nobility,
they're selling that
and
much.
they're gonna throw him a little $100 and say, hey, yeah,
They're selling
we
that much.
supported
They
the
still
master
have never
teacher.
came back here.
Yo.
Why don't they just come back? Matter of fact, Jalil Huel, right, who had the Moorish American travel document, when he did a class at Rise of the Moors at 23 Acorn Street, which is an old video. Go Rise of the Moors YouTube channel. You'll see it. He was there. He gifted me a backpack that he made from China. He told me personally that he tried to get here with his Moorish American travel document, and it did not work. So he had to use the U.S. passport.
Yep.
And feel free to ask him I don't gain anything from saying that. It's not like, yes, the more information is not working, I'm gonna promote that. Like, no.
You have your passport to sell now. Come
Yeah,
over
like
here and get
nah.
mine.
I'm not trying to say this is the new Morris American travel document. I'm just telling you, the same amount of energy that Morris put in towards this Morris American travel document, we could have been putting that energy into our Morris American nationality cards and traveling with
Yo,
that.
what? I'm traveling with that.
But
Imagine all these Moors. But nah, everybody wants to be the man. Somebody was asking, when the prophet said the destruction is going to start in the south, could that be a metaphor since his words are spirit? No, you just look at the south. Look at Atlanta right now.
yep,
You think that's
that's like gay city, gay
tranny
mafia city.
what do they call the thing? Not fashion show, best tranny contest? Best transition contest.
Ugh.
Like contests where they have like mad people at this thing, and they're going across the stage showing their transition and how good their transition is, that they went from a girl to a man, and they look like dudes. Like they look
That shit is fucking nasty.
Yo,
And I
they
apologize, but
are
that's
muscular and stuff like that.
nasty.
They have beards and all this. I'm like, how? That
Yo,
never
you
used to
know
be a
what
woman. No
really
way that used to be a woman.
You know what I was
No
thinking
way
about?
that used to be a woman.
I was like, why won't lesbian girls just get with the dudes that are gay? Like, does that still count as being straight? You know? Like the stud girl get with the
The
dudes that
stud
are,
girl with
sissy.
the sissy guy.
Is
Yeah,
that straight though?
yeah.
Because look, right? If
That's
it's
an
not
interesting
straight,
one.
based
That's
on
an
their
interesting
logic,
one.
then they're discriminating against them because of their sexual organs, which is
Yeah,
what the whole LGBTQ community is against. So now what? What's
yeah,
up? So now
yeah.
these women have to get with guys. I thought about that
Does
today. I
that
thought that was
count?
hilarious in my own mind.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Some
That is.
weirdo's gonna
It
get
is.
mad.
Of course, they're gonna get mad, but hey, yo, what the hell? We don't get mad when you say nigger and call fezzes bucket hats or whatever.
Yo,
So don't worry about it.
LGBTQ people have their own bathroom.
Yeah,
And
yo, they're hooked up.
Moors are getting treated like dirt, and we're just saying, hey, we're not an adjective, we're a noun.
Yeah,
And we got
these people have their own washroom.
we got people writing whole newspaper articles about us and how we're terrorists just by saying that. And these LGBTQ people have parades and marches, and they got bathrooms, and they get way more respect than Moors. I shouldn't say that.
They got rights and all
Publicly,
that.
I should say.
Let's just say they get more respect than the blacks.
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah, yeah, let's say that. That's way better. That's more true.
They get more respect than the blacks for sure.
Publicly, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
open.
And not just that weird shit, but like there's a bunch of so-called blacks being murdered in the South. Like most of these police killings are like in the South.
Yeah,
Like most of them.
Yeah.
Like how do you not see that that's destruction? And then in Texas, right, they had this crazy winter storm where, houses were caving in, they had no power, no heat. Like what do you think that is?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hurricane Katrina, I know that was a long time ago, but what do you think that was?
Yeah.
What about when Puerto Rico got hit by like 17 hurricanes in a row? What do you think that is?
Well, what about where's Montserrat?
What's that?
Montserrat, that's one of those islands that had a Saint Vincent in the 80s.
Oh.
Or 90s. Volcano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
That's the destruction.
And people don't see it because they're not looking.
Yeah.
Because it's out there. You know what I mean? You just have to look. If you're not looking, you're looking at whatever CNN and they're talking about the basketball, whatever, and they're talking about this dude that turned into a girl and now he/she is running for whatever, and you're so amazed at that shit. You're not looking at how they're destroying our people.
Yeah.
You're looking at, they murdered this one person, let's march and pray. But you're not looking at how every single day in every single courtroom, they're violating our people's rights from A to Z. You're not looking at that. Because then you have to look at, then you would have a problem every day, not just when social media tells you to have a problem.
Yeah, or the news or whatever. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
all
it's
of that
crazy.
stems from people like this guy trying to claim to be the new whatever. Because they're not telling you to focus on the important shit. They want you to focus on them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the new Cujo. What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
I'm the new Jamal. What does that even mean? So you can't even be yourself? When the prophet told you, be yourself. You have to be the new someone else?
Be yourself. Why you have to be the new someone else?
You can't be the new you?
Shit.
What the fuck?
They don't even want to be the old them.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They don't even want to be the old them.
They ain't
right?
These Moors haven't even read their Quran. Haven't even read it.
And then again, keep in mind again with this thing with these people that they're gonna be saying their or whatever name, but then they're gonna be using the Great Seal as their seal, which should let you know that they're Great Seal. They're not who they're claiming that they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if Farrakhan has a nationality card saying that he's Ali or whatever, then you can't believe that he's Nation of Islam.
Yep. As if that's
You
a thing.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't look at this as this is a thing. Oh, the Moorish consulate. Oh, yeah, because in Taj's book, he mentioned the consulate. He mentioned the consular court. So we're going to start up a Moorish American consulate. And then you have no building for this court to happen in. Like, isn't there? Where's the building for us to have court at
No
for
infrastructure
these Europeans?
Yep.
Nothing?
Yo, when I was part of the consulate, I said, hey, we're going to need a building. They said, oh, no, we don't need that. I said, what? Wait, what?
What? Wait, what? What do you mean you don't need a building? I thought you said court.
Literally,
you said court.
Literally, Taj helped me leave. Literally. I texted him. I was texting him that, I was having some internal conflict. And he basically said, hold them to the standard of the prophet and the divine warning by the prophet for the nations. And I screenshotted all this and I put it, no, I didn't screenshot that. I screenshot something else. Anyway, he was basically saying, if these people haven't written any literature and their words, works, and deeds don't precede them in the communities that they're in, then get away from them. And once you send that to me, I wrote the letter, I did the video, and I left the consulate. And if any Moors have ever paid attention, Taj has never been active in the consulate since the first day. Like he's been on, he had been on like 2 calls, maybe, and then we did the ceremony, and then that was the full extent of his involvement.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he really involved?
Right, and then but then they're gonna have his picture up there still. But they took down Shalamore's picture.
Yeah.
And then they're not talking about where he went.
Yeah, and if you listen to Taj is telling you not to trust none of these people.
Like on their platform, he's telling them.
Yeah, and they're so fucking
to
dumb,
their face.
right? The people
to their
Taj
face,
is
he's
telling
telling
you
them.
not to trust. They're so dumb that they don't even realize he's talking about them.
Yeah.
Because they're so dumb.
Yep. And then there you go, follow it, chasing them, like another big dummy.
Yep.
Chasing them. Now you got Moorish American travel document, and then you can't even use that, but then you're posing with it as if you used it to do something.
On a train.
Took a train ride with a travel document, and you're talking about how come they don't show them? How come they always show them selfie? Like how come they don't show you out the window of the plane so you see the wings and stuff like that?
Yeah. Literally anyone can book a ticket online and get any name they want, and then go to the airport, print out the ticket, and then take a picture and then leave, and then get a refund on the ticket. Like you could put Daffy fucking Duck if you wanted. Once you get to the gate, the TSA, and they ask for an ID, then you got to show something.
Yeah.
And they will challenge you. And why get the Moorish American travel document if you're not going to go international? What's the point of having it?
Yeah, if you're getting it just to go up and down South America, North America, islands, and that's it. You're not taking this thing and going across the world with it. Then you're not serious about traveling.
Yeah. And if you're gonna get it
You're
and
not
go on
serious
a
about
train,
traveling.
you know what I mean? Because that's one of the only pictures I've seen of like quote unquote working, and it was a train ticket in China. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I don't know Chinese or Manchurian or whatever language is, but I know that's not a fucking plane ticket. That's a train ticket. I can tell. You know what I mean?
Oh
And then people are
God.
thinking like, oh, wow,
Wow.
whoa. Like, hey, have you seen the spy movies where these spies have like 17 different passports to show you like this shit ain't real? You know what I mean? Like, you know, the government, the quote unquote government, puts people in witness protection programs and creates new identification, new identities for them, and gives them new passports, new birth certificates because this shit ain't real. And you're like, wow, they did the thing. And then your mind is just blown.
Blown.
Like,
Mind blown emoji.
like when you do this to an infant, right? You say, I got your nose, and the infant's like, whoa, put it back. It's not real, bro. Even my daughter's laughing. It's not real. Like, if Moors put more energy, instead, like all the energy that Moors are putting into the Moorish American travel document, if they put that same amount of energy into contacting the Maroons in so-called Jamaica, we could have our own ports from at least Florida to Maroon Town and then do commerce with the Moors there.
Well, actually, we have a Moor over there, and he tried to go talk to the Maroons, and they're like, "Nah, we're not Moors." And all this.
Nah,
We
dude,
got treaty. We got treaty with the British.
Yeah, we got Moors out there too, and some of them
We got a
they be
treaty
getting
with the British.
different things from different Maroons.
Yo,
Like,
it's crazy.
a few
Yo.
Maroons said, you know, you can only be a Maroon if you marry a Maroon. You know, if you marry into the Maroons, and then
Yeah.
another Maroon was like, I don't remember, but the so-called island of Jamaica's crazy. Like they're out there
crazy,
wild.
crazy, yo.
But like
Crazy.
if we put more energy into that, then we could have all the crops that they can grow that we can't, like in places like New York. Like we could feed our people in New York.
Straight.
Because the prophets have been prepared to feed the world again. But y'all don't want to feed the world. You want a Moorish American travel document that no one has ever used to travel internationally. You don't want.
Then all their energy to that.
Instead of building, like, could you imagine having a port, several ports, from just Florida to so-called Jamaica and Maroon Town?
Yeah.
And then having, you know, and then just traveling with commerce on our seas and rivers, and you know, using the Mississippi to traffic all this stuff that we're growing in Maroon Town. Like, you know, how prosperous we would be. Exactly like Marcus Garvey and the so-called Black Star Line. Like, you know how prosperous our nation would be. But no, you want a travel document, and you want sea moss, and you want a T-shirt, and you want crystal wrap jewelry, and that's all you want.
Yeah. You know, that social conditioning.
And then you want the new route.
They did a good job, yo. They did a good job.
I'm about to change my whole thing to New Canaanland Moors and see what happens.
Do it. Let's see what happens. Do it. You heard it. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Let's see who wasn't listening to class here. Who's a traitor? See it.
Oh shit.
And then we're gonna start the beef like, yo, he's calling.
You know, I was actually thinking about doing that, starting some fake beef with you, because I already knew you was gonna like go with it, just to see what would happen.
That's crazy. We should do it still, just to see. You have to put it on Facebook, though. You have to put it on Facebook, because that's where the freaking the drama starts.
Change my socks. I don't got no socks on. What's up? I'm in the house. No socks. Dang, I was gonna say something else. I forgot.
Too much. You got to do it on this channel more, yo. We got mad time right now. I think we're over an hour now. Got to be over an hour.
They've been hating on me on everything.
I forgot to check what time I started.
I can't even go live on here no more. I have to join other people's stuff. It's like everything I post, they say violate something. I'm like, how? I didn't do nothing.
I got one today, and it was freaking. It wasn't even my stuff. It was somebody's stuff bullying me, and then they're telling me that I'm bullying. I'm like, what? Yo, they're talking about me. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yo.
What the hell?
I posted.
How you saying I'm bullying with a post bullying me?
Yeah, self-bullying, bro.
What?
You can't bully yourself.
Who are these fact checkers here? Who are they blind? Who are these people?
It's the dirty boys. I posted a picture of, if you just Google search women of the Democratic Party, you'll see a bunch of Europeans with like the KKK uniform on. I posted that, and it got blocked, and then I got banned from going live. And then other Moors posted it, and I was seeing it on their timeline. I'm like, wait, what? I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying this is what they do.
Yo.
And then other Moors posted it, and nothing happened. I'm like, okay.
Nothing happened. Yeah, you know they're watching somebody.
Also, Not the Moorish Militia hasn't got deleted yet.
Oh, for real? Oh yeah, Gunther's still up, huh? I seen Gunther the other day. What is he doing? Running or something? He's doing something. Oh yeah, at the gym.
I found that person's real Instagram.
I'm like, how's it? I'm like, how's there video of Gunther working in the gym here? What is this? I'm like, Gunther is at the gym? I thought Gunther only had pictures, yo. I know Gunther goes to the gym and shit. I was like, what? This guy's out here.
He's
He's out here.
Yo.
Gunther was
Took
serious.
me a good amount of time to find it, too.
Yo, that was funny.
Hope I don't get sued for that or something.
No, you should be all right. It's all for Jesus, right?
Exactly. And I think that's why the page hasn't got deleted. Because before, the one before it, like, I had posted like 30 posters or maybe less. I wasn't even on it like that. And then I just got a notification that it got deleted. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't post nothing. But this one has been popping.
Check the chat for that question. There's a good question right there.
What?
I don't know if you see it.
Can a mother claim the Moorish national processing? Huh?
I think their heir was born with autism.
Can they be a Moor?
Can the mother claim it for the heir?
Absolutely. The condition of the child shall be the condition of the mother. And you know, they were a Moor as soon as they were forming in your womb. You know what I mean? All you're really doing is either putting it on paper or you're teaching them. You know what I mean? And if they have some type of mental whatever, then they're considered your ward. So whatever you need to do to protect them, that's what you have to do.
Yep, exactly. That's just what you have to do.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like right now, my daughter's my ward, period.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She can't take care of herself. You know what I mean? And until she's either competent or, you know, she can take care of herself, then she can identify whatever she wants to. But
whatever, yeah.
Until then, up until I die, she will hear from me that she's a Moorish American and nothing else.
Yeah. Someone was asking, have you ever filed Form 211 or 3949A?
I don't know what that
I never heard those forms.
Yeah. Nah, I don't.
The first question you ask when it comes to forms, first question you always ask is where these forms come from.
Yeah.
If the forms come from some U.S. jurisdiction, Canada jurisdiction, corporate state, city, province, or whatever, you don't need that. That's some game.
Yeah, that's some crap that they're trying to get you to commit to whatever.
Yeah.
It says on the was it CDC? I think it was the CDC. Hi, girl. That the brands black, white, and Indian aren't based on science or anthropology. They're used for classes. That's all they're used for, and they're not. They don't qualify you for any government benefits or whatever. So all these Indians claiming, oh, if you do this and file that and say this and do that, then you're gonna get the benefit. They're lying.
Yeah.
Same thing
And
with
then
any
why would
forms
you?
that they're even on the race and ethnic whatever thing. I know it says more. Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Don't fall for it.
That violates your Fourth Amendment. What do you have to tell them anything for?
Don't fall for it.
Yeah, don't fall for nothing. Fourth Amendment,
Because you're
right to
supposed
privacy.
to
Leave me alone.
enforce the Constitution. Right? So yeah, so it's a U.S. form. So once it's a U.S., that's Walmart. What is a Walmart form gonna do for your rights?
Yeah. And as far as the thing you're talking about, as far as putting the feds on notice of them not paying taxes, they all know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
The only reason why I tell Moors or have been teaching Moors to go to court and file claims is to expose what they're doing.
Yeah.
I know there's not going to be no remedy in that. We've been oppressed for X amount of years. These people are they do this. This is what they do.
That's what they do.
You know what I mean?
This is not some stuff they're trying.
Yeah, this ain't no. Well, oh, I never knew that. I never knew that they were creating birth certificates on people, and I never knew that. These people know what they're doing, and you would know that if you go to court and you make these arguments and you see their faces.
Yeah.
You'll see this has literally been so-called judges and magistrates trying to make faces at me to get me off my square. Like this is some type of game. Like these people know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
You know, they try to scare Moors. I was in chains, you know what I mean, under the court in jail, and there's a European guard saying, "Oh, I know about Noble Dry Lee." He said, "Where's your feds? Did they take it?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm behind bars, in chains, in my pajamas, because they broke down my door, and this European is telling me he knows about Prophet Noble Dry Lee. And I said, "Oh, have you read the Quran?" He said, "No, I'm a Christian." I said, "What?" You know what I mean? So how does this European know about Noble Dry Lee? And I'm just figuring out about this guy.
Yeah.
And he works for the court. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
don't fall for it.
Don't fall for nothing. Now these people are they're playing games for real. Like when Taj says mum's the word and these people just ain't telling you, that's the goddamn truth. There's been times when I walked into court and on my old sweater it said Maghrib Alaska, right? And I had a fez on, and it was the Moorish star Moorish flag imposed upon what we call the United States. And the European got into the elevator at the courthouse with me and said, "I thought Moors were from Africa." I said, "This is Africa," and he smiled and walked out the elevator, and that was it. If you say that to most people, this is Africa, especially our people, they say, "No, it's not." You know what I mean? The average person is gonna believe.
They go Scooby-Doo. They go Scooby-Doo on you.
Exactly. But the people that know, they don't react like that because they know. You know what I mean? Like if I tell my daughter, "Hey, Amora, 2 times 2 is 4," she's gonna be like, "Wow, how did you do that?
Yeah.
How did you figure that out?" But if you tell an adult, "Hey, 2 times 2 is 4," they're like, "Oh yeah, I know." You know what I mean? Same thing. I have a picture shaking hands with the retired Chief Justice of the Supreme and Superior Court with my fez on.
Yeah.
And in his library was nothing but Abraham Lincoln books.
No debate.
So guess what I had a conversation with him about? William Dungy, the Moor. Guess what? Remember Juju? It was Juju, Moreno, and myself in this guy's chambers in the court. And Juju said, so you know how the 14th Amendment's unconstitutional, right? What do you think about that? He said, well, I would have to lean towards it being constitutional. But did you keep what he said? He would have to.
He would have to. Not that that's the fact. Yeah.
Because all the fucking decisions he's made over and against our people.
Yep.
Meanwhile, every book in his library is Abraham Lincoln. Look him up. Frank J. Williams.
Yeah.
Look him up.
He's not a nobody.
Retired Chief Justice. Look him up. And a Moor with a fez, who's a domestic terrorist, is shaking his hand in his chambers? Okay.
In his chambers.
But you want to listen to the new Rise of the Moors.
Yeah. Who keeps showing you sidewalks? That's all they're about.
You know what I mean? Like
showing you sidewalks and Asian ladies.
These people absolutely know who we are. They absolutely
do. Straight.
And don't think that you're gonna walk into a court and say, "I have the treaty right here," and they're gonna say, "Oh gosh darn it, you got me. You're a Moorish American national, case dismissed because of a treaty." They're not gonna say that.
Yeah.
They have to maintain power. So they're not going to admit certain things.
Because if you ever find out that they're Walmart,
Yeah.
if you ever find out they're Walmart, they're going to be in some serious problems.
These people know exactly what's going on. And if you don't believe that, there's, I mean, I can't speak for everywhere, but here in so-called Pawtucket, they got the Irish Shamrock or whatever in front of City Hall because there's a lot of Irish people out there.
Yeah.
Up the street, they got the Portuguese Cultural Center, and then the divider of the street is the Portuguese flag. Up on Federal Hill in Providence, Little Italy, the divider is the Italian flag, and there's nothing but Italian restaurants left and the right. And guess who's at the city halls of these cities? Those people with their flags. So you can tell me they don't know who the Moors are? And if you think about Knights of Malta, Malta's in Sicily, right? The Knights of Malta helped kick the Moors out of Sicily. You don't know they don't know who the Moors are? The Portuguese were involved in the Inquisition against the Moors, but they don't know who the Moors are?
You already know.
Literally, look it up. There was a Rhode Island, a European Rhode Island sailor who was fighting against Moors. How are there Moors in Rhode Island? Huh? But they don't know who the Moors are? Come on. You're playing games? Yep. You're playing games. Let alone them.
How's there a little street in the little island of Tobago called Jandamore? And they don't know who the Moors are?
Look. Everyone Google this, right? When you're off the thing. Google search Shriners Temple, Cranston, Rhode Island. And then you'll see before that there's Moorland Street, which is a dead end. And then before that is Alhambra Circle. But they don't know who the Moors are. And then right next to the Masonic Lodge is the Police Motorcycle Club. But they don't know who the Moors are, huh? Okay.
All right. Go follow the real rise of the Moors then.
The new rise.
If you think they don't know.
Wait, is the new or the real?
The real.
All right, the real one.
The real. Yeah, so they're not new then. They're just real.
The leader of the Narragansett Moors is called a Sagamore, which means wise Moor, but they ain't Moors though. They're Indians.
Yeah, they're Indians.
Come on, fucking stupid. Roger Williams, who founded the colony of Providence, talked about the Moors, but we ain't Moors. We're Indians. Okay. Okay.
They're cheating. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Give thanks to Rise of the Moors, the original Rise of the Moors. These fakers out here.
Clout chasing.
You have any closing promo?
No, I don't like the promos. Moors, be yourself. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to be. There's nothing else. You know what I mean? Stop trying to figure out your way. Just follow what the prophet did. You know what I mean? Nothing I've done has ever been like, okay, let me try to be the man. It's like, okay, how was Prophet Noble Darley so successful? You know what I mean? Like that's how I try to think when I'm trying to do anything impactful. You know what I mean? So all I'm trying to do is whatever the prophet did or whatever I think the prophet did, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do anything that's going to make Jamal the guy. Fuck that. That's tiring. Yeah. I want to get out of poverty. I want to get out of living paycheck to paycheck. I want to get out of having to see my family struggle and see family members on Section 8 and see family members think that they got to be rappers to get out of this thing and see family members think that they got to be ball players to get out of this thing and then see family members who, you know what I mean, their brother or sister is more successful than them because of whatever status that the Europeans set up. Like, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of seeing my family members that were affected from the crack era. I'm tired of seeing, you know, my uncles institutionalized because they've been to jail so many times for having a plant in their fucking pocket. And now the state of Rhode Island is trying to legalize so-called cannabis, which really is, what about all the lives that they destroyed? Like, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be nobody. So stop Stop trying to be somebody. Be yourself, and stop listening to people that are trying to be somebody because they have nothing to offer you. They never have, and they never will, and that's never
Yeah.
going to change.
Yes,
You know what I mean? And just read what the prophet wrote over and over and over again, and you'll see these characters. You'll see them. They'll expose themselves.
Yeah, they expose
The
themselves.
same
And
people that
that's
have produced no literature are the same people asking you, how many books did the prophet write? The same people that produce no literature is saying Rise of the Moors is misleading. The same people that have produced no literature and have helped nobody are the same people saying, well, show me where you got a case dismissed because of the treaty, or show me where the treaty applies here. And they haven't even read the Sundry Fees Moors Act of 1790. Like, stop listening to these people.
yeah,
Stop. just
not in your
just
best
don't.
interest.
There's nothing to listen to because they're not showing you anything of value or of substance. Get books. Purchase books. And the more you read books, the more you're going to see that the person that wrote that book cited other books. So then now you can cross-reference what they wrote. And then those books that the person referenced and the book that they're referencing, that person referenced other books. And then in that book, they referenced other books. You know what I mean? So these people aren't going to go on that cycle of having to read all these books to give you information that's valuable and true. They're just going to make statements. And then they're going to say, oh, did you see me in the picture with so-and-so? And, oh, you know, because that person said this, so this must be the truth. They're not going to say, well, based on this extensive research that I've done, based on me being up to 1 a.m, Juju waking up and coming downstairs like, why aren't you in bed? And my eyes are burning because I'm looking at the screen at 2 a.m. Like, well, I'm just trying to find some information. And my eyes are watering because I can't look at the screen no more. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm on to something. I know it. They don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't have going to the library and looking at microfilm. I'm like, I never used this a day in my life. And you got to scroll through all this crap to find one sentence. They're like, oh, I found it. They haven't been through that. They don't want to go through that because that takes actual work, and they're so focused on trying to be, oh, I want to be the new whatever, and they're not putting in that work, and that work is what our people need. That work is what's going to get our people out of the situation that we're in, because the more literature you produce with cited stuff, the more resources our people have, and then the better off that they're going to be able to make their children. You know what I mean? So all the work that I've done in reading and preparing literature, I'm giving that shit to my daughter. So now as she's growing up, she's going to get what I got as an adult, as a child, which is going to catapult her even further into more science, which is going to help the next generation. And she's going to mother the next generation. Yeah. That's what this shit's about. Not, well, you know, I stopped doing nigger stuff yesterday. I got a fez on today, and now I'm the Sultan of Morocco. You don't even know. What?
Spell Sultan.
You don't even know who you are.
Can't even spell Sultan. Talking about they're a Sultan of something.
You don't even know your own history, and you're the Sultan of something? How? These people can't even. A lot of these people don't even have an original thought of their own, and they're trying to tell you something, and then they also admit out of their own mouth, well, I'm not as adept in this subject, but then they continue to speak about that subject, and you listen to them.
Yeah. Yep.
That's like saying, oh, I don't know shit about brain surgery, but oh, I heard you got a tumor, let me do some shit for you. Like, yeah, let me get this plastic
just come lay down
this dirty screwdriver and let me take that shit out for you. Like, what do you stop listening to these people? And the more hominis dominus holiest moliest they act, the more danger you should expect.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's in the Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. Or maybe that's in the Quran, but it's in those books. It tells you that.
They play that.
It literally, because when I first read it, I was like, what does that even mean? But now I see it. The holier, molier, macarolier that these people act is don't trust it.
Yeah. That's a sign. That's a red flag.
Yep.
Don't trust them.
Because they can't
even
even
be
be
they're holier than thou. That was like this brother called me the other day, emailing me. So sent him the number, calling him, and then he's talking to me about how Marrakesh played him, and how he just got the real paperwork from Tracy Gale Bay, and I'm about to get this stuff.
Yo,
Yo, I said, no, those aren't the ones. That's not the right way. Yo, the man accused me of freaking lying and, you know what I mean? You're gonna die and all this.
bro, Sharon just got out of jail, pled no
I'm
longer
like, how are
intended,
you
which is the
going to
same
her?
thing as a guilty plea, and she's still telling more Celine the strong man.
Yo, you told me she's not an agent? She just got out. You think they didn't tell her go push this on you?
Yo,
She just got out. And
before,
she's going back to teaching again. And she just got out. And
before she,
people are calling me, asking me if their stuff works.
yo,
And when I tell them it doesn't,
oh my God.
they're cussing me out and telling me that I'm a traitor.
Before she got arrested, she said, lean the straw man because they can't arrest you if you lean. She got arrested for she's been in jail for 2 years. Then she pled guilty. They accepted it as time served, and now she's telling you to lean the straw man again.
You know why she got arrested? She didn't lean the straw man.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wait. Not only did she get arrested, but her husband is doing Fed time because he had priors and she had a gun in the house. And her family's destroyed because the Europeans said you can't be around your children no more. And then her family also said, we don't want you around your children no more. But she's going to go on camera and act holiest, moldiest, fucking macaroniest, talking about uplifting fallen humanity when her family is destroyed?
Yeah.
And you're so fucking blind, you can't even see it.
And you're riding with them.
You can't
They don't even have their family together.
You can
and
see in her
they're
face
saving
that
you.
she's suffering. You can see it. Look at her videos before, where she was real
And
happy
look at the
because she was
ones
making
now.
all this
Yep.
fiat because she was robbing
Yep.
the Moors. Look how happy she was before, right? And now look at her. Come on, Moors,
Stop
pay
it.
attention.
Stop it.
If you're so holy moly macaroni, then you can read energy, and you can see something's wrong with her.
And not that something wasn't wrong before she got kidnapped.
Yeah.
But definitely now,
Yeah.
she either got played with in there, right? Whatever games that they play, going into those institutions, because that's a different lady. But she's saying the same stuff.
And you already know, food and water is poison in there. If you think it's poison out here, it's fucking poison in there. They got sinks attached to toilets, and it's metal. They got blankets that other people have laid on. There's other people's hair and DNA and shit on the beds. It's not a fucking cakewalk in that motherfucker. They're poisoning our people. So if you think anyone's coming out of that normal,
Right.
you clearly don't understand what they're doing to people in there. You clearly don't understand that, yes, this is spiritual warfare. So when they physically have you, they're doing things to your spirit. You would understand that if you knew that this was a spiritual fight. Because the same principles that govern spiritual warfare are the same ones that govern physical warfare, because right now your spirit is in your physical body. So of course they're going to be similar. As above, so below. So, Moors need to stop playing. We need to stop playing. Stop just thinking that, and they say the key phrases. They literally have the same schematics. They all try to be your family. They'll say peace, family, peace, beloved.
Grand Rising.
Or they say Grand Rising. They always put on this persona for you, like Taj says. The Europeans, they'll act friendly and then they'll devour you. That's what these Moors are doing.
Yeah. And then that's why she was on House of Ram. Because why would you have paid a bond to get out and all that? But then you're going on there playing this free thing.
Yeah. Like you got out
playing this
free
playing this like Morris assisted you in getting out or something.
Yeah.
That's not right. Of course they're misleading people. And then people who are helping them, they're misleading people too.
Just like when I got arrested, I say, thank you, Morris, for bailing me out. I didn't say, because, I told the bailiff, that's not money. And then I pulled up my nationality card. I said, I summoned Ali, and I put it on the table. And then Drug the Spirit came out and flashed them. And they were like, whoa. And then they let me out of jail because I said, jurisdiction. You don't have it. And then, nah, Moors had to bail me out because it was going to keep me in there until forever.
Exactly.
That's the fucking truth.
and that's how it is all the time, because we're always under threat, duress, and coercion with them.
Yep.
So you might have to yield with regard to jurisdiction sometimes.
Because we're under occupation.
But that's not because you're treasonous or whatever like that. That's because if I sign this paper and you're gonna let me go, and if I don't sign this paper, I gotta stay in here, and then you don't even care what I sign on the paper. You just want me to put something on it. Okay, here's something on it.
Daffy Duck.
Thank you, to Mr. Daffy Duck. You can get your bag over there, and you'll be fine.
Michael Scott sound like that. I declare bankruptcy. No, for real, that's real life. You know what I mean? Like, Moors bailed me out, and think about it.
Yeah.
If the Moors didn't bail me out, which I thanked them like the following day, I would still be in there today because I still haven't had a trial.
Yeah.
Still.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
Because right before, right after that, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I would have been in there just.
Definitely, you would definitely been in there.
I would have been fucked.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And literally in the police report, they wrote how they were surprised that I got out, which is telling the people they wanted me in there. COINTELPRO, duh.
Yeah.
And then you
Don't
believe
look-
the
don't
more
look
saying
at-
I'm an agent. Like what? What?
Yeah. when you hear statements like that, COINTELPRO and Boule or whatever, don't think that we're talking some 1960s Black Panthers and all that. Like, we're talking about
Today.
an operation today that is going on right now to keep the people away from their nationality and birthrights, and to keep the ones who do know about it, keep them out of circulation, keep their mouth closed, keep them under some type of manners, so that this stuff doesn't really get to critical mass, because it's about there. You know, it's about there.
The Congressional Black Caucus, so all your beloved congressmen and congresswomen, because you love Black power, right? And blacks need more political control, so hey, you got it. They admitted in 2017 and in 2019 that COINTELPRO 2.0 is on the rise. Look it up. Congresswoman, what the heck's her name? Congresswoman. I know Ilhan Omar is one. Congresswoman Karen Bass.
Yeah.
And Congresswoman, I can't remember the other lady's name. But there's 3 women that exposed that COINTELPRO is active today. And then the FBI released the Black Identity Extremist report, which listed Moors. And then the Black Caucus had them change the name to something else. But just because they changed the name doesn't mean that they're not going to still target our people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if I punch you with a right hook, you say, well, that hurt. I said, okay, well, I'm going to call it a left kick, and I still hit you with a right hook. It's still the same thing. It doesn't matter what I call it. You know what I mean? So these people are alive and well, and the director of the FBI, Christopher Wary, or whatever his name is a Skull and Bones member. If you look at what university he went to, and then look at what Masonic secret society is part of that, you'll see, okay, he's Skull and Bones. And then you'll see that the Jesuit University of New York honors him, which obviously he's a goddamn Jesuit. And then you look up the Jesuit oath, and you look at COINTELPRO, and you say, okay, clearly he's like Moorish enemy number 1. Clearly this is the guy in charge of all of us. Clearly.
Yeah.
And the Moors are like, I'm a U.S. citizen. Like, wait, what? Okay, so that means you agree to how they're treating our people. That's what that means.
Yeah. If you're agreeing to it, you're a traitor.
This is almost unbelievable. Literally, like I said, when I first woke up, I thought this was going to be a cakewalk. You know what I mean? I thought, okay, clearly, I used to think all the Moors are listening to Taj, because, I mean, why would you not? This guy's
why would you not?
Yeah. And then 2, I thought, okay, so the only people that don't know are the blacks that are still asleep, because obviously every other Moor must know this guy, because he's the shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though in the videos he's telling me, you know, I'm not saying me, but telling us on the videos that this dirty was out there. But at the time, I didn't encounter them, so I didn't really know what a dirty Moor was. You know what I mean? I thought it was just like, I don't know, like a shitty person. You know what I mean? But no, it's like COINTELPRO. I didn't know that at the time. But anyway, so, you know, I figured, oh, all the Moors are listening to this guy. Everyone's going to rvbaypublication.com because all this information here is free. I mean, there's proof, there's case law that they have. Like, what is there to not believe? Yeah. And I thought, you know, once I get this information and start teaching it, are people automatically going to gravitate towards it because it's the solution to all the problems that they're claiming that they're having. And all of that was not true. You know what I mean? So,
wake up call for that ass.
Yeah, so even to this day, I'm just like, yo, what's happening?
Yeah, wake up call for that ass. The sorcerers did a good job.
Yeah, but you can literally go to the Library of Congress and see that they incorporated the General Education Board in 1902. And then you can just Google the General Education Board's philosophy and see from the book itself that it says they're not going to teach us shit. Mm-hmm. And like, so they literally scheduled the appointment. They scheduled the appointment. I'm going to slap these niggas at 3:00. And then they send you an Evite, and then you RSVP, and you let everyone else know that you're going, and then you get slapped, and then you complain about it. And then you get mad at the Moors who are telling you, hey, don't show up to the 3:00 RSVP event. Don't show up.
Yeah, you're going to get
and then
slapped.
Say, oh, don't fucking tell me not to show up. I have the right to show up. I got invited to the party. You're just mad because you didn't get invited to the party. Well, if your information worked, then you would have your own fucking party. And then the Moors are saying, okay, well, if you would join what we're trying to do, we would actually have our own party, and no one would get slapped at all. We would just have our own shit. Like, nah, because you're just trying to be like the white man, and then they go to everything the white man does. Then they get the foreigns, right? The foreign cars, which were either created in Germany, France, or some other European place. Yeah. Then they get the clothing that was created in Europe. And then they get the cell phones that are created by a European. Then they get the internet apps and all the stuff that was created by a European. And then everything they have is from Europe. They eat Europe's GMO food. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Factamundo.
And then they get happy when they see, oh, this new place has the first black firefighter, or this new place has the first black mayor. Okay, so you got one black mayor, and then all the 9 people on City Hall are so-called white.
Yeah.
And the people,
and you think you won
the
something.
councilmen create the laws.
So, you think you won something.
So all that black mayor is enforcing the laws that the white man wrote. But you hate the white man, but you're happy that you got a black mayor. When that black mayor is only gonna do what the white European tells him to do. Which is
or a black police chief, nigger? Or a black whatever black you want to call
the house
it, whatever position.
What the slave master told him to do, and you're like, oh yeah, we got a black mayor.
Whatever position, mayor, councilman, whatever, attorney.
And you think that's victory?
Whatever. Yep.
And I'm just saying black and white because that's how our people think. Obviously, there's no black. We're not black and they're not white. You know, and clearly there's a difference if a Moorish American national fez wearing nationality card holding constitutional enforcing, treaty enforcing Moorish American free person was in City Hall and or a mayor, there would be a huge difference. Because they're not European puppets. They would be fucking free Moors, free in the mind, thinkers for themselves.
Which is a whole different mindset than the
completely different
boule black guy.
Exactly. And everybody knows,
black guy?
Everybody knows all these black guys go to Masonic lodges. Everybody knows. Yeah. You know what I mean? I heard, like, they talk about it like it's just a chill spot. Like, that's where all the blacks go to chill. Like, I've heard that so much in this community. Like, I've never heard of the Masonic lodge until I found more science. And y'all think this shit's cool? Like, like that's how these Europeans normalize things within our society. They just do it, and then our people just, oh, this is a new thing. Okay, this is where
this is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing. No, it's not. They're playing. Wake up, dummy.
Like, our people don't even see what's in front of them. There's a whole Masonic lodge right next to the courthouse. Like, you don't think that's weird?
Nah, that's not weird. That's normal.
That shit ain't normal to me.
That's normal. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Your Honor, my brother here, whatever works for
Yeah.
my brother here, and
Yeah.
my brother this. And
Yeah, that's how you'll hear the attorneys, they refer to each other as brother and sister.
Yeah.
Nah, that's how they communicate to each other. They say my brother and sister.
Oh, they're just conflict of interest.
Absolutely, it's a conflict of interest. And then literally, if you Google search, like I Google search civic organizations out here because I was trying to find like-minded people, and I only found like European civic organizations where there's like attorneys who are part of it, judges who are part of it. And you
Yeah.
can only be part of their civic organization if one of their people recommend you. Like you can't just join and learn stuff that can help you. Like
Yeah.
there are attorneys and judges that are part of these things. And like they're eating at like their club is located at like the most expensive restaurants downtown.
Yeah, yeah.
Like and we don't see
They
it. We're
got the
just like,
hookup.
yeah. I want to sell
Yeah, they got
drugs.
the hookup.
I want to sell drugs and say I'm the king of the city. Even though Europeans create all the laws and enforce all the laws, and I'm going to jail every fucking 3 days.
Yeah, yeah. But you're the king, though.
Yeah, you're the king, though.
You
And
run this.
everyone's
You
the
run
plug.
this.
How is everyone the plug? If everyone's the plug, who's selling the drugs? Stupid.
If everyone's the plug, who's the socket? You guys just dead appliances just sitting around doing nothing. All plugs. Sounds kind of homo. All plugs and no sockets. The hell you guys doing?
You got a whole
Everybody's a
blackout.
goddamn plug. Whole blackout. Talking about plugs up. You don't have a socket. There's a lot more. You already know, yo.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Yo, they're
Vegan
letting you
chicken
go
grease.
for a long time. Okay, I'm about to report
Yo,
you.
this is the new one. Yeah,
I'm
this
gonna
is the
fix
new
that
one.
right away. Oh, this is the new one, huh?
Yeah, this is the new one,
Oh, you're
yo.
the new Cujo then.
Yeah.
now you know who I think the last time.
The new Cujo.
Last time, Auto Talk on.
Oh, Auto Tauntauns. Yeah, he reported me. I reported him too, though. I reported a bunch of his shit. I was real petty.
Jokers.
All right,
Reporting stuff. Yeah, more. Peace, Juju.
Peace.
Yes.
I would show you, but my little baby daughter's right there.
Yeah, you already know. It's all good. It's all good. Keep her hidden, yo. Don't show her.
Oh, I was
sucker energy.
I was traveling up to Detroit, and I was like, dang, the bridge is right there. I almost went.
Oh, yeah, I was
real
the
quick. I was like, wait, Toronto's right there. Yeah, I almost snuck across the bridge.
Yeah. It would have been interesting if you got through.
Right?
But they're stopping everybody.
I should have got my Morris American travel document and tested it. I would have got sent to the feds.
You're not the real Resident Wars.
Yo, imagine. You're not the real Resident Wars. Oh man, that would be gold. Now you know what? I should get it and try it, see what happens. And then go live. Like, see, it don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nine Feathers told me that. Nigga be like, what? Who's Nine Feathers? He's my chief. He's my sultan.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. All right, Morris.
Too much. Yeah, boy. Islam. Peace and love to all the Moors out there. Yeah, we'll be on this one from now on. So, since we got the time on this one. So this was our intro to the Cujo L lives. This was our first session. Looks like they're giving us some time on this one. So we're gonna keep riding with this one. So make sure you tell everybody at Canaanland Moors to get on the new Cujo L. So we're probably going to be going from here. I've never seen 49 people on this thing ever. The other one is only saying 6, 8, or whatever. Peace and love to all the Moors. Islam.